I've got a very rare find for you today. This is a small little bunkhouse family camper that actually features a 60 by 80 true queen size bed. Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Josh the RV Nerd. This is Bish's RV, and that is the 174 BHJ Flight here in my Coldwater, Michigan hometown store. This, like I said, this is the smallest little bunkhouse I think I can ever recall seeing with a 60 by 80 true queen bed. Usually in this class it's either, maybe it's 80 inches long, but it's only 54 inches wide, or the bed is like 60 inches wide, but 74 inches long. This is one of the very few I've ever seen right from the factory. You've got a nice big true queen size bed, and what's cool about that, we all know that these RVs come with like that backbreaker death wafer mattress, right? This is one that if you want to swap out for like any residential queen of your choice, you don't have to go monkeying around or modifying the RV. You just got to get it through the door, which frankly is not all that terribly hard. Now, some notes here on this one. Today we are looking at the STX edition. So normally there's the J-Flight SLX, which is a tin skin camper. This is still a wood frame travel trailer. The fiberglass might throw some people off. It's actually what's called hung fiberglass, very similar like a Cherokee Black Label or like a Wolf Pup Black Label, something like that. But the STX edition is like the Western Idaho-built Baja package plus fiberglass. So basically what we're looking at here is almost every single option that you can possibly apply to this, which is very cool because it makes a small trailer look and feel really ritzy and glitzy and cool. There is a downside to this though, and that's the thing. I will always share the good with the bad with you. And what I want you to really understand is when you go adding all the extra stuff to this thing, they don't upgrade the axle and the running gear. And that means that everything you're adding to it is lowering your cargo carrying capacity. So the one we're looking at today is about 3,500 pounds, which leaves it about 650 pounds of cargo weight. That's not a lot, so I want you to understand that. But this isn't every single 174, this is just this one. If you're looking at a more basic one, you'll probably have a cargo capacity closer to like 1,000 pounds. Like we've added the heavier roof air and all kinds of stuff to this one that we're going to cover as we go. And obviously, as you've seen, I'll share the good with the bad with you. And if you appreciate that, hit that like button and subscribe to our videos. And let me know what you like and dislike about this one as we go. So no real major like decor changes from last year. Like if you watch my 22 video of this, like standing here right here, it looks awful similar. Now, if we look up, one of the things that did change is there is no more side mount air conditioner. They used to have an 8,000 BTU side air, and they just standardized the 13,500 BTU roof air. Now, thankfully, since this does have a 6.5 foot interior height, even if you're a little bit taller than the average bear like me, you can walk under that without scraping your scalp on the little, control knobs that hang down on that. One of the unsung benefits, I think, of this camper is just the fact that it actually has amazing cross breeze ventilation. Anywhere that you see windows, you either have a pair, like a mate window, or obviously you could use the screen door for maximum airflow. And you see that they're doing that full viewing window in the door, albeit no privacy shade, although, again, that's a very easy thing for us just to slap in there for you. If that's what you need to buy the camper, folks, we can make that happen. Now, they have improved their solar option this year. This is always going to be roof solar ready, but their solar, it's called Overlander 1 package. It's a 30 amp controller and a 200 watt roof package. A lot of things in this class, if they have any level of solar, a lot of them have no roof solar prep, which this has by default. And if you get any solar with them, it's like 50 or 100 or 80 watts or something like that. So, it is an extra expense. It is an optional item that's being applied to this RV, but I think it has a very significant benefit to it. And you're going to find that almost across the board, we're going to be putting that package on almost every single Jayco, even these little guys, just to help you keep your batteries topped off. Now, again, one of the critical details, I think, on this floor plan, it's almost a floor plan defining feature, is that 60 by 80 true queen. Now, it means it doesn't have a headboard since the body of this is only 7 foot wide, but it also means that you're getting the biggest bed you possibly can in this thing. And again, the ability to swap that out for a residential mattress is not to be understated. And since they got rid of the side mount air, they were able to standardize that extra cabinet over there. And looking around at the storage around the bed here, I'm glad they did, because, with a full 80-inch bed, you don't really have room for any sort of, wardrobe hanging closet around here. Although I do personally feel that a lot of people in a small camper like this are mostly just using this as, like you're going to have folded clothing in here. You're not going to be hanging up Uncle Gary's sundress or anything like that. You know what I mean? Now, if you're new to our videos, one of the trends you'll discover is I tend to be very candid. I'm about as blunt as a spoon about stuff, and if I see something, I say something. I love the fact that they're including some USB plugs for like phone charging or whatnot. I utterly do not like, I don't like that position. That's a bad spot for those. Because, you know, if you have a pillow there or something, you're gonna like bust the you're gonna bust the cord. I just personally, I feel it should just be up a little higher, and there should just be a tiny little cargo net pocket right there that you could slot your phone or whatever into when you're not using it. That would make more sense to me. Now, a little thing that's easy to miss, where this curtain slides beside the bed behind the dinette, there's like a shoe garage down there. It's like, it's air, but it's useful, valuable air, and there's actually air in storage below that dinette bench right there as well. This is a simple, classic, single drop-down leg dinette system that I do not have set and leveled correctly, so the fact that that's all kitty wampus is completely my fault. Apparently I didn't take a better look at that. And I don't really know of any brand that isn't using an auto-detect converter system this year. So if you have a wet lead acid battery, AGM, lithium, it'll figure it out and it'll just adjust the charge accordingly. You may have noticed the household outlets down there. That is a very handy thing. Whether you're like running a little computer or just, you know, a fan or some lights or something like that. And speaking of lights, they do a very good job of applying a very healthy lighting package to this. One of the things I do like is our main cabin lights are on one switch, but you might notice all of the lights in what you might call the entry or the bedroom area, they are independently click operated, so you can flick and switch the lights over here any way that you like without necessarily, you know, disrupting everything else. You do still have your choice between two decors. We're looking at the modern farmhouse today. Anything that you see is like white could be brown if you choose to get this in a cottage decor. So remember, this is just one sample example. It's a little goofy, by the way, but that is where the TV hookups would be located on this, which I understand is a little bit odd. But I think it really is about the best position they could have possibly done on this. And we're going to look at that in a minute here in just a little bit more detail. First, opening this up, it is nice that this is still pocket screwed cabinetry. I like the updated stovetop, but still not a single drawer in here. At least it has a giant space for a wastebasket. Right there, we're looking at the big 12-volt DC compressor fridge. You have a choice between the larger, faster cooling 12-volt fridge and the gas-electric two-way. So keep in mind, I suspect more and more things are going the 12-volt route. And the gas-electric fridge, there's still some very good purpose for it, but more and more in the industry, I suspect you're going to see less and less of those two-way refrigerators. Now, moving back here, the Bunks have a pretty class-leading quality. Couple of them. And you got to see my ugly reflection in the mirror. Forgot to activate my vampire powers. Couldn't decide if I want to say vampire or vampiric, so I said anyway. 4-inch thicker mattress, and these are 300-pound rated bunks. So basically, if you can fit in this little coffin bunk, it's gonna hold you. And there are plugs. It's interesting, they do USB up there, household down here, but notice they did at least leave the lights where the adults can reach them. And notice that they're actually including a toilet paper roll. A lot of brands don't do that. Notice too, an actual locking bathroom door in case you need just a moment of sanity or privacy. And there's actually decent space around that toilet. Now, if you are wider than me, if you are a fluffier person, it may fit. Like someone said, Josh, you know, you always talk about tall people. What about fluffy people? Well, I don't have a dad bod. I have a father figure. But the fact is, I'm not the widest person. I'm a little longer than I am wider. So it's hard for me to demonstrate that. All I can do is kind of show you what I can show you and let you figure it out. Like right here in the shower. 6.5 foot ceiling plus a skylight means I can stand in it. I do like that they're giving us a shower surround panel. This is another one of those little things that just makes me scratch my head. They have a vent here, but no fan. Thankfully, with that light right there, we could easily piggyback off that and install a fan in that vent for you if you were, something you wanted. Now, it's pretty unmistakable if you're looking at a 23 versus a 22 Jayco. They went with this beautiful smooth sweep on the nose here, and the little color accent on the nose, it really helps it stand out of the crowd from, previously they were just white on white, which didn't look bad. I do like the break in the color contrast, though, and they still have that just tiny little blue Jayco accent. Jayco's just always been the blue brand to me. I don't know why. Anyway, so once again, we're looking at the STX package. Normally, this would have a corrugated aluminum skin. That's the default. No matter what, even when you get the fiberglass upgrade like we're looking at right now, which actually from the Indiana built facility, you can get fiberglass as a standalone option. You don't have to go full on STX, but if you go STX, you get everything in the Idaho Baja package plus forced fiberglass. So it's just kind of weird the way that breaks down, but it's based on regional preferences that different people have. One of the parts of that STX package, or the Baja package though, is that you go with a wider axle. Do you notice how the axle actually sticks out? You got a little fender flare outside of that body. So this is a 7-foot wide camper, but it's on a 7.5 foot wide axle when you go to Baja or STX Edition, which is going to provide more stability. You are also upgrading to aluminum wheels, and those, it's still Goodyear tires, but now they're Goodyear Wranglers instead of Endurance. STX or Baja also adds the power tongue jack, and as you're probably hearing, I am right next to the road, so you might hear a little bit of traffic, and if I bend over and flash my backside at the road, I might cause a scene in a traffic accident, causing little trouble with the bum. So stupid. I don't even know why. I'm so sorry. That's so stupid. So it's not a full true pass-through, but you do have some pretty solid storage under that bed. And what is neat is we have turn signal safety lighting and the camera prep. Now, unless I specify something as STX or Baja specific, it's just a base item, so just kind of keep that in mind. You'll always have stable steps, but when you go STX and Baja, you get the double step because you're riding on bigger tires and like a flipped axle basically, so that it has a little bit more ground clearance. Something else that's really, really cool on these. When you go Baja or STX, you also get an enclosed underbelly, but it hides something else that's really cool that you can't see. A bigger freshwater tank, and you may have noticed Baja and STX Edition also gets a 30-pound propane bottle instead of 20. Notice though, you're still maintaining a full rear bumper, and when you go Baja or STX, you actually add front stabilizers. That's one of my very few criticisms of this camper in its base form. The base 174BH with the corrugated tin skin does not have front stabilizer jacks. I don't agree with that personally, but hey, I'm not the guy that designs these, and frankly, I like my camera job. I don't want to be the guy that designs these. So that is a walkable roof. There's just not an access ladder method or anything up there. I do like the extended downspouts to help keep the black streaks off this thing, although the fiberglass will clean more easily. It is a gas and electric fast recharge water heater, which is kind of cool, and especially in the lifted editions here, you get a little bit more sewer clearance, which is excellent. The base version, instead of the extended axles, what it will actually have is, like I said, your Goodyear Endurance radials, but inside of the body of the RV, there will actually be like galvanized wheel well guards in there, just in case you suffer some kind of blowout to help protect everything. The windows are tinted, which maybe half the campers in this class and category will do. So there's still some really excellent standout qualities here, whether you're looking at base edition or fancy glitzy edition like we're looking at today. So once again, what we're looking at here, this is we have Bish's dealerships all over the place. A lot of our dealerships, like the ones in Idaho, for instance, or Montana or whatever, they get their Jaycos from the Idaho built plant. Now the base SLX will basically be the same, but they may have the Baja package, which essentially we've covered today. It's just this camper minus fiberglass. Or we might have some that are just far, far more basic. And again, I think you're going to be seeing us do a lot more solar on these, even these little guys this year. Let me ask you this. Who would like solar? And maybe, is there anyone who wouldn't want any factory solar on these? Because I know I sure would, and I tend to park camp, and I'd still find some benefit from that. I'll leave you some links in the video description to check out pricing and availability on these, which will vary depending on the equipment package and which dealership you're looking at, which one of our stores. Also, I'll leave you some links to some similar floor plans from Cherokee, from Wildwood, from somebody else, Rockwood maybe even, just to see, hey, maybe, this is close but no cigar. Let's find the one that is cigar for you. Yeah, whatever. Makes sense to me. If that makes sense to you, you might want to get yourself psychiatrically evaluated. I've yammered on enough. Take care. Stay safe. Have fun. And until next time, everyone.